like 3-4 minutes to watch, oh, let me know. And then you can, open it up and see and then move on from there on after. But since we're 2018, social media is taking over the world. And I want you guys to be a part of it. Since most of you guys are already, use this towards your advantage towards building your list in Ambit.
That's great. Thanks, Tim, for sharing that. So we talked about a little bit earlier that we're going to share some fundamental things that have always been around, and then we're going to talk about some new things. So let's talk a little bit deeper about what Tien just said. He says if you post a selfie, okay? Now, on my personal page on Facebook, you never really see me post anything on my personal page that says like, Ambit Energy, hey, does your job suck? None of that kind of stuff, right? So what I basically post on there is things about like my granddaughter or maybe something with my wife or my puppies or maybe if I get a new car or something. Because my friends, okay, they like to see that stuff. My real friends, that's what they care about. They don't care about Ambit and they don't want to see me beating them up about their 9 to 5, okay? So the way you can gauge if you post something on Facebook, I learned this from Jarrad, is the way you can tell if people are engaged with what you're posting, if it's like Ambit related, is if it's only your Ambit friends that are liking it, your other consultants and people in Ambit that like it, and none of your quote unquote real friends like it, that means that they're not interested in that junk you're posting, okay? Which is what you're trying to get in front of, because personally, if I like something you post about Ambit on there, you ain't gonna make no money on me, okay? Jarrad's the only person in this room that makes money on me because I'm not in anybody else's downline. So I wouldn't worry about posting stuff on there that's Ambit related if it's like that. Now, the reverse side is what Tien was talking about. If you post something about your puppy or your granddaughter and they like it and they smile and they love it and you get 200 likes, that's opened the door because you have some sort of influence with them because you posted something and they engaged with your post, okay? Even as simple as a like. So what you can do is then you can touch base with them and say, hey, what's going on, man? How you been? And they say, oh, I've been doing great. How you been? And then all of a sudden, boom, you get a little conversation going back and forth on iMessage. And you can say, hey, man, it's kind of funny. I thought about you as I saw you, you liked what I posted. Hey, are you open to an additional stream of income? Or we'll go through some of those things in a minute. But does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. Okay. So how many people get on social media and get on Facebook and screw around sometimes for like 10 or 20 minutes and you don't even realize what you even looked at? Okay. And sometimes you do that 2 or 3 or 4 times a day. Okay, that can literally be an hour of time every single day, a block of time that you can repurpose, be on the same thing and see the same things, but then just take a little simple message and just say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Been a little while since we last spoke. That's all your instant messaging to them. It has nothing about anything else. Then if they engage back, then you can go after it a little bit harder. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so we're back to expanding the list. So who do you know that's one of your competitors, either in your organization, if you're like in a sales organization, it's somebody you compete against, or somebody else from another business that you don't really like them because they're your competitor, but if they were on your team and you were making money off their production, you'd love them, okay? Who's somebody like that? Does anybody know anybody like that?
I've got a couple.
Write them down.
So here's what I want you to write down. Write down the realtor that sold you your last house or somebody that you know personally that sold them a house, okay, within your family, your grandparent, aunt, uncle, whoever. Everybody write down your insurance agent because, Lord help me, I hope everybody has home insurance, renter's insurance, or at least car insurance. By golly, it's required in the state of Texas for minimum coverage. I mean, you got an insurance agent. Write down your insurance agent. Now, there's going to be a lot of different things. Different leaders will tell you that you only do business with people that do business with you. That's great if they believe that. I'm not that way, and that's okay. Everybody's different. But I do feel that your insurance agent should take a look at what you're doing and at least give you an opportunity to crunch their utility bill and at least understand what you're doing to maybe refer you to some other people that they know. That's not an unfair request, is it?
Let's talk about that too. If they're not willing to at least take a look and at least give you an opportunity to take a look at their electric bill, barring that they're in like another company or something, honestly, I would look for someone else, okay? Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, if you're doing business with them and they won't even give you the courtesy to show them the opportunity or to at least potentially be your customer, I wouldn't do the business with them anymore, okay? I really wouldn't. My dry cleaning guy, he delivers my dry cleaning, comes picks up at my office, and I told him, like I wore him out for a little while, I was like, hey, I'm telling you, bro, if you don't let me look at your electric bill, I ain't doing business with you no more. He's like, are you serious? I said, as a heart attack, okay? And you know what happened was he sent me a copy of his bill, and then he signed up as my customer. I saved him like 20%, okay, for real. Those things are for real, and it's only because I wasn't trying to be a jerk. But if they're not going to do business with me, then I'm going to consider somebody else. Okay? It doesn't mean that I'm going to kick them to the curb. Okay? But they might get kicked to the curb, because whenever people start looking, you know what happens? People start doing something different. Okay? It's kind of like if you start looking for a new house or a car, you're going to buy one pretty soon. Okay, that's just how it works.
Write down your HVAC person who fixed your air conditioning system.
And call them and ask them if they can repair it here too.
When you got somebody knocking on your door, you better open that door and talk to that person. I promise you, they'd rather be doing something else than knocking on doors at 100-degree heat. I promise you. Okay? They're open to making additional income, and they understand hard work and numbers. That's exactly the type of person that you're looking for. If you got to talk to them through the screen, you got to talk to them through your phone because you got to like ring camera, whatever. Talk to them. That's an opportunity that most people pass up. It's out of your comfort zone, but there's some things you can do with that. Okay, anybody you pay money to for a service, put their name down. Okay, you have to start doing this and make it effective. Now, those business owners, they have clients, yes or yes.
Yep.
So they can refer you to other people. It's not always about straight prospecting. Now, I have a different opinion than what Doug might tell you about prospecting specifically. I'm not going to fight what he does because I'm not going to certainly stop what he's doing. Okay, he's crushing it. But the point is, you have to do what works for you, and at least they can consider referring you to their clients. If they don't want to, you can find somebody different.
Let me tell myself for a second. I haven't called every single person I do business with and told them all I'm going to kick them to the curb if they don't do business with me. I haven't done that with every single one of them. I haven't, okay? But sometimes there's convenient times to go through and do that, and I've got it kind of top of my mind when I'm going through it. So what Jarrad's saying is put down your HVAC person. Maybe you know an electrician. Maybe you know, and let's just keep on expanding real quick. Who do you know? Has anybody ever had their kids been in the Cub Scouts or the Girl Scouts? Okay? Who is the leader of that little team or whatever, the den mother or whatever, right? Who's that person, right? Write that down, okay?
That's a person of high influence.
Absolutely.
They got elected or they got self-elected, voluntold, whatever you call it. But people follow them.
Let's talk about buying a house. Has anybody bought furniture before for a house? Are furniture salespeople, are they normally pretty aggressive? Would you like to have somebody that's aggressive and not scared to talk to people on your team? Okay.
How many of you know where a furniture store is right now? You can picture it. How many of you just would like to go look at a car that you might potentially buy in the future? Do you know there's car salesmen with open arms waiting to make extra money? Who says you can't go look at new cars? I have one that's from a leader from a couple years ago. He said, if you go to a dry cleaner's and you got 10 pair of slacks, you can go to 10 different dry cleaners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I'm serious. Mm-hmm. You can get creative if you really want to, but I think we limit ourselves on what we think is possible because we've never gone through an exhaustive list and trying to get at least 50 people down.
Who thinks that they've exhausted their warm list? Really? I mean, honestly, you say, I've gone through my whole warm list.
But you got nobody else to talk to.
Okay. So you very well may have, I doubt it though. I really do doubt it. Because I think if you went through this whole entire list and you wrote down, okay, cousins, all right? So how many cousins does the average person have? It's a bunch, okay? And then how many second cousins do they have, all right? Your cousins, your second cousins are your parents' cousins. They're your second cousins, okay?
Can we do a drill down on this real fast? I need a volunteer. Somebody come up here on stage. Who wants to volunteer?
Somebody's going to get voluntold. All right, come on up.
Come on up. All right, tell us your name. Give them a round of applause. I'm going to stay in front and center. This is old school stuff I learned. Jedi magic.
Come on. Do it.
All right, do we have another mic?
Just give me your mic real quick, sure, for a second. Name, where you're from.
Give it up for Arlen, AVL.
Hello, Arlen. Hello, Arlen. Okay. Hi, regional consultant Mark Hubbard from the thriving metropolis of Azle, Texas.
Okay, so what was your name again?
Mark.
Mark, tell us the name of your cousin.
Johnny.
Okay, where's Johnny live?
Marietta, Georgia.
Okay, so keep that in mind. What does he do for a living?
He's now retired. He was an electrician.
So was he an electrician in Georgia for a number of years?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that he probably has some connections in Georgia?
Many.
Okay. Have you ever talked to him about the business or asked him to take a look just as a favor or to support you?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'll be having dinner with him next week.
Got you. Okay. So there's value in the connections of other people. Now, probably many of you would say, oh, but they live in Georgia. We're not Ambit Energy in Georgia, so we can't do anything in Georgia. Okay. What if your cousin found Ambit Energy, then called you first, and you joined under him?
Before you even say that, so Mark's cousin lives in Georgia, but Mark lives where?
Texas.
So do you think that people from Texas that know people from Georgia, but there's maybe somebody from Georgia that knows somebody from Texas? Think that's possible? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. So the problem is we scratch people off our list, or we prospect someone in Georgia, and they're like blow you out of the water, okay, or they don't give you the time of day, whatever the case may be. But you can still ask for referrals. That's your job as part of prospecting, is to ask for referrals. Ray Perez, on his book that's in Spanish, I know a little bit of Spanish, un poquito. Necesito platicar. Pero, if you see some of his training things, everybody is referrals. Even if they say no to the business, it's who can you refer me to, right? So that's the power of getting in his network of electricians in Georgia.
Right.
And hey, I want some introductions to people that you know that are influential. I know you're retired, but if you got all the money in the world, maybe you got some philanthropic things that you might want to contribute to. So you can appeal to that side from that aspect. Okay. So who else do you know that lives in Georgia?
Even before you do that. So let's talk about this. So does little Johnny got any brothers or sisters?
Johnny has three brothers.
Okay.
Actually, no, two brothers and one sister.
Okay. You don't have to write out. You don't have to know all their names right now, but you can write that down. 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and then you can go back and fill in the blanks later. Okay. So now we got 6 people on his list: Johnny and 5 more. Okay. Do they have any kids?
Lots.
That'd be your second cousins. Okay. So any of them those you can think of that there may be somebody that's influential, something that's going on. So just that lots right there, that's probably 25 or 30 people just from Johnny, just from one person. And you think that your warm list is all gone.